Hey everyone, good to see you. Thanks for joining me. The Switch 2 will be launching in 5 days. That's very exciting. And today I wanted to discuss the top 5 launch titles for the Switch 2 that will show us just how powerful the console is. This isn't a tier list. It's not a list to snub certain titles and say, hey, those games aren't that good. They're not good enough. I just want to point out the games that I think personally show this is how good Switch 2 games could look. A big sticking point with the original Switch is that the games were often a bit weaker or downgraded if games were ported from other consoles. So I'll go ahead and point out a couple aspects of these games that I think show, okay, this is going to be a very strong showing for Nintendo. It's going to be a generation where we can finally get, versions of games that are just very good quality and comparable to the versions of those games on other platforms. So I don't want to take up the screen space here. I'm just going to go ahead and get out of your way. And we'll get started on the videos here. The first game we'll take a look at is Cyberpunk 2077 Ultimate Edition from CD Projekt Red. This looks really fantastic. This would be the most impressive looking title that will launch alongside the Switch 2 here. Not only do we have a significant use of volumetric lighting, which is an advanced form of lighting that gives density to the atmosphere, we have a high number of character entities on screen that all seem to be quite high quality. There are high poly counts on these characters with high resolution textures. We have physically based rendering, which is an advanced form of lighting, reflection, and shadow calculation. We have these fog particles, densely detailed environments, reflections, ray tracing, high-speed movement, a lot of on-screen, post-screen filters like blur, depth of field, motion blur. There's so much going on here. Lens flares, bloom, This just looks fantastic on the console, and it really shows off this is how great the games can look and run on Switch 2. People have been comparing this to Cyberpunk 2077 running on Steam. The DLSS technology used to upscale this game and other games just is well implemented, and it makes games crisp and run really well. Next on the list is Hitman World of Assassination - Signature Edition. This game looks so cool, really fantastic. Again, very detailed environments. The lighting, the atmospheric effects, they don't look as complex, as heavy to process as Cyberpunk 2077, but the game itself still looks fantastic. Very high resolution textures, detailed character work, animations. There's so much interactivity in this game, and it's going to show off a lot of power on the Switch 2, and it looks like it's running quite smoothly. Next on the list is Kunitsugami by Capcom. This one surprised me. I wasn't even aware of this until just very recently, but this game actually looks quite beautiful. It goes for a stylized aesthetic, more so over Hitman and Cyberpunk, but it is still densely detailed with foliage in the environment. We have highly detailed character models with high poly counts, fluid, highly detailed animations, a lot of physics simulations in the clothing. That stuff is actually quite costly to render in terms of rendering performance, not in terms of money, but it's something that is quite demanding. We see a lot of that physics simulation, a lot of entities on screen. This is a game that I'm actually interested in checking out, learning more about. I hadn't heard of this before, but it looks like it's going to be a huge amount of fun. There's going to be mouse controls that you can see for some of the gameplay elements. There's some strategy involved, and this game just looks so fun. There's so many cool particle effects that in general would cause slowdown, but it looks like the Switch 2 is handling all of these flashy particle effects without causing any drop noticeably in the frame rate. So this looks really fantastic. I'm looking forward to checking out these massive battles with this gorgeous art style. Next, we have Split Fiction from Hazelight Games. This game is the most stylized game on the list, and rightfully so, as it covers quite a number of different genres and art styles in the game itself. But you can see highly detailed character models, high resolution textures, a lot of particle effects, a lot of different gameplay styles, very expressive character facial expressions, and it looks so exciting. So that game looks like it's going to be a lot of fun, but huge detailed environments is where it's at. Number 5 on the list is Yakuza 0 Director's Cut from Ryuga Kotoku Studio. This looks so fun. There's a lot going on in these scenes. We see a lot of highly detailed, high polycount character models that are walking through the streets. We see very expressive character facial expressions, detailed clothing on the characters, densely detailed environments. There's a mix between photorealism and stylized visuals here that harkens back to the mid to late 2000s in terms of gameplay style, but it still looks like a modern game, and it really blends a couple of different design philosophies in a gorgeous way. So we're going to see just so much detail in the environments in a way that the original Switch really couldn't handle. You see really the fiber in the clothes, high quality textures on the characters, very expressive. It doesn't have the same level of complexity when it comes to environmental lighting and atmospheric and volumetric lighting as Cyberpunk, but it's still an impressive game to see. It's just so densely detailed, especially with all these environments and very expressive characters. So this one's going to be very exciting. So thanks very much for taking a look at these games with me. I hope you're looking forward to an exciting new generation of gaming. Again, the Switch 2 launches in 5 days. Okay, take care. Be well.